And we're back. The name of this chat is Lynn 1 and Lynn 2. Why? You know, that's I've heard a lot of people, talk about that and how they knew Lynn 1 and how easily I can turn into Lynn 2. And in my mind, I'm just playing along when I say that I'm one or the other because I don't understand what you're talking about. In my mind, I'm the same person all the time. But I've realized that something has changed because there's too many people that say that now. And now that that's been coined, that after all these years, no one has ever said that to me. But then suddenly, and I have to stop and self-reflect and try and figure out why people are saying this. And it's not coming from just random people. It's coming from people who know me, and also people who just got to meet me and agree, which never happened before. And I'm gonna have to stop and reflect upon what has changed, because that never happened before. So I stopped and I looked back and I realized that when people say or do certain things that inhibit me or just even try to, this is very difficult for me to try and wrap my head around because I'm still trying to acknowledge this myself. And I was just playing along when I'd say, "Oh no, this is just Lynn number 1" or whatever. I don't think I ever admitted to being Lynn number 2 because I don't think there's any evidence that I've ever admitted to being Lynn number 2, unless I was really pissed off, and then maybe I might have succumbed to that. But I don't, consciously, I don't think I've ever really admitted to being anything other than Lynn number 1. But what I have noticed is that for some reason, since I have returned, that there is a definite change in me that has happened, a definite response mechanism that's been like installed into me. Like I trust my friends, Aaron, Tyrone, Montana, Dark. I mean, Justin. I mean, there's a lot of people that I trust, and I never do that to. Never. I mean, it takes a lot to get me to do something like that, but not the way that you guys do, which I don't know you on that level. The way that I do know the network. And the network is, my brothers and my friends and my friends and my family. That's my network. That's the network that I trust in, that I believe in, and I know anyone actually in the network. That's my family. And I get upset sometimes, and I'll say stuff, and I'll just vent a little bit, just like you do to your friends and family or whatever. But they're not directly attacking, or you're not directly attacking them. You're just venting over a bad day or a bad week or whatever. And you know what? It's not even okay to have a bad week. It's okay to have a bad day. It's just not okay to have a bad week. That means there's something wrong with you instead of something wrong with the day that you were having. And that's a clear definition that I put to myself a long time ago, so that I never got sucked into that whole, I'm just having a bad month. I'm like, whoa, no, you're not having a bad month. You're having a bad problem with yourself. And I know that. But that's a whole nother topic for discussion. What I'm saying is Lynn number 1 and Lynn number 2. Why are people now seeing a difference in me since I came back after everything that's happened? And I had to stop and go, Am I really different, or am I just more life experienced? Like I get it now. Like, yeah, there's stuff that I didn't know about before, and yada yada. But has it changed me in a way that I can't recover from? Has it done that to me? And I don't want to do that to my friends, and I really don't. And I haven't done it to my friends. But what I do know is that the people who I don't know are my friends or not, I realize that I've gotten a lot more trigger happy and a lot more vicious towards people that even slightly just go against me. Like I'd rather just fucking just bury their dick in the dirt than fucking deal with the consequences if I let it go on and let them get more powerful than they already think they are. Because I've already dealt with that. And I'm thinking, am I transferring what happened to me and what I've had to deal with to people now in real life and all that stuff? Am I doing that? I wasn't even in that long. This ain't like fucking institutionalized fucking thinking, but I wasn't exactly in the fucking shoplifter fucking realm of jail. I was in the gladiator level where everyone thinks that way. It's the worst thought process you could possibly imagine, and I had to fucking deal with it for this long. And have I got like this condensed soup version of fucking institutionalized thinking without having to do all the time? Like this is like, hey, here's like a fast forward version of hey, how to be a fucking parolee from prison and act like you're fucking still in prison for the rest of your life. No, I don't want that. I don't want that, but I see that apparently that's what I'm fucking doing. And I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't like that trigger happy fucking attitude that I've got now, where if you fucking look at me wrong or you do, I mean, even if I talk about it, it makes me feel sick. Is that if I, because this happens in real life too, and it's not just the internet that's telling me this; it's real life that's telling me this too. There's people in my real life that are telling me, "Dude, you need to calm down. Dude, you can't be so trigger happy about everything." And I'm like, "Dude, well, what the fuck?" Because I try not to be very much different than I am online than I am in real life. A lot of people fake their lives and stuff and act like they're in fucking Hawaii and Photoshop fucking images and stuff. I'm no, I try to be as transparent as I possibly can. I give you guys a walk around of where I live. It's a 1 bedroom apartment. It's not that fucking great. It's not a nothing. I mean, but I mean, let's put that in perspective. It's not like I worked my whole life to have a fucking 1 bedroom apartment. No, it's what's happened. And after fucking a very short amount of time, starting from scratch, if you guys were to be able to just erase your life, everything about your life, everything, and have zero support from anybody until maybe the last couple of months or few months that you've been after like maybe 2 years, back out and trying to rebuild everything with this bullshit hanging over your life, like with everything in life that could possibly hold you down looming over you. You go try to find a job. Oh, there's a felony charge against you. Oh, well, it's not a conviction. It's just a charge. Well, it doesn't matter. It still shows up as a conviction. Well, it's actually not. If you look, it's not. Well, I'm sorry. It's a violent charge. We're not going to do that. Everything. And you start to contemplate, well, why are these people, maybe they were wrongfully convicted and the only option they had to succeed in life was because society instantly judged them, instantly took away any opportunity they had, even though they finished their prison term, they're quote unquote reformed. You think society wants them back? No, you're forever banned, branded, and that's it. So now you got to survive. You got to try and figure out how are you going to get a job where they can just ignore that and just look at you for the person you're supposedly reformed. You supposedly got healed by the system and that they believe in. They believe in it. But when you get out, they don't believe in it no more. No, you're never going to be anything other than what you were ever convicted of or even charged with. Not convicted, but charged with. Even if you're just charged, even if somebody claims rape and tries to call you a rapist, you know how hard it is for society to fucking let that go, even when the girl that charged that with you gets found out to be a fraud and she herself ends up going to prison. You're still stuck with the fucking rape charge. But you think society's going to be, oh, well, we're going to look deeper into this. We're going to be the judge, jury, and executioner on this one. No, we're just going to say, no, you have a charge. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, bye-bye. And that's how society treats you when you get charged with even the slightest thing, whether it's true or not, whether you're convicted or not. Doesn't matter. You're treated the same way. So how are you supposed to survive when somebody does something like that to you? Now you start, realizing that, well, if I want to survive, I might start looking into a life of crime because apparently that's the only way anyone's going to think of me anyway. So, hey, if I'm going to be branded as a criminal, might as well just fucking join in because it ain't like I can just keep on going on. I mean, if I get treated like a criminal, then what's stopping me from becoming a criminal? You see how the system's kind of designed, and I didn't know this up until this moment, or not this moment, but up until not that long ago. I realized that the system creates criminals. It doesn't heal them from wrongdoing and pay their debt to society. No, it creates, because the system is designed to create. If you slip up just once, that's it. Your life is over. And now, to survive, you must become more of a criminal just to live, which makes you a bad person all the way around. And hey, we were right about you the whole time. Never mind the fact they had their fucking boot on your neck, making you try to fucking breathe to survive, and calling and pointing their fingers at you as that you're the bad person and we all have to hate you. And if you fucking try to survive, then you might as well just fucking die. If you violate the system one time, if we fight, it doesn't even matter. If we even think that you have broken the law, you will be forever. You might as well just fucking kill yourself, because we're going to make your life so fucking hard to live, even if you never did nothing. Even if, doesn't matter. That's the lesson you learn. Don't fuck the system. Don't piss anybody off, because, hey, they might say something about you that might get you fucked up for the rest of your life. And you know what? You know what the public is? The public is happy that they have that power to do something like that. Oh, until that happens to you. Well, now it's not so great, is it? Now, democracy isn't such a great idea, is it? Democracy is two wolves fighting over what's for dinner and one sheep contesting those results. A republic is a well-armed sheep contesting those results of what's for dinner. And that's what the whole point was, is that if somebody even accuses you of something, you've been indoctrinated into believing that this person is bad, always will be bad, never will. All they did, you know what? Because they fucking, obviously, if they didn't just bow down to anyone who said anything to them, and somebody said something bad about them, it doesn't matter if you're guilty or innocent. That part's never looked upon. It's all about what you've been charged with and what you've been convicted of. Now, conviction takes a jury. And at that point in time, yeah, you're pretty much fucked. But if you're just charged with a crime, and then you get exonerated because there was no evidence and that person ends up going to jail, you know what happens to the person who got charged? They suffer the same fucking consequences as someone who was convicted. Almost exactly the same consequences. So it doesn't matter whether or not the person who charged it, none of that shit gets publicized. None of it. And none of it goes gets publicized about how this person who did nothing wrong is now going to suffer for the rest of his life because of what this stupid fucking person did to that person, and didn't realize how long that's going to stick. So that's basically what I think the reason is Lynn 1 and Lynn 2 exist. After much self-reflection, I think there's a lot of things that I've learned and experienced that you guys have not. And now I see why. And now I kind of understand a little bit more, or maybe you understand a little bit more as to why when I see somebody doing some shit and tries to say something about me or tries to put me in a situation where I'm going to have to defend myself, and I see that you're going to associate with somebody that I might get tied down into when they start doing some fucked up shit that I might get tied up into it. Yeah, when this happens to you, then you might understand why I act the way I do, because I didn't act like that 100% before. I had a very clear statement and I was very steadfast. And now I see that there's a difference, and I'm not going to try and do it. I'm just going to let you guys absorb it and understand why Lynn number 1 and Lynn number 2 exist today when it didn't exist before.